Good morning. I have to stop filming these videos, or at least starting these videos, when I haven't had a coffee and I've just woken up because look like shit. Today is going to be a bit of a different one. I am going to an event called the Early Hookup. The Hookup is a bike show, or like a chopper show, and they do it, I think it's like over in Wales somewhere, but they do another one called the Early Hookup, and that's like a pre-meet thing. I've never been before. I've wanted to go for ages. My mate Christian, who you'll meet later, who is actually I met through my masterminds. He's big into biking and all this stuff. Has his own clothing brand called Odin's Metal. I'll be wearing my t-shirt in a minute. And we're going to ride over there. It's on the outskirts of the Cotswolds at the Kingsley Cafe. We're going to ride over there. I'm going to film some bikes. Just take you on the day, right? And I'll give you a brief update and tell you what's going on. I've got some interesting news, which I'll save until later in the video. But it's not just about Land Rovers and self-development. We're big into bikes here too. So, and let's see how we go on. That's my toast ready. I need to eat. Man's got to eat. It's the next day now. There was absolutely no chance I was going to film anything last night after the hookup. Dude, I'm getting so old. The reason I say that is because it was quite loud in there. It was loud music all day. Christian and I were like chatting all day, and then we had like an hour ride out there, like a real blast, and then a real blast on the way back. And dude, I was just like, had a headache, was tired, just wanted to get home, have some peace and quiet, and unwind, to be honest. This is what happens. This is what happens when you hit your 40s. Little bits of news. I finished editing my book. So I haven't given it a title yet, and I'm really kind of struggling with a title. So that's the last thing to do. I've got to insert the images. I'm going to print out like 3 or 4 copies and give them to a few of my friends, and then I'm going to figure out the publishing thing. So I reckon we're a couple of weeks away, maybe 3 weeks away max, end of the month. But yeah, yesterday was a great day. I tell you what, I didn't film that much, and there's a pretty good reason for that. Like Christian and I spent most of the day having like good conversation, man. Do you know what I mean? And it makes you realise how important it is to spend time with some of your friends just talk, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, we spoke a bit about business, but you know, we spoke about everything. We spoke about relationships and burnout and all this kind of stuff, you know. And I think it's really important to make that kind of time with your friends. No phones, no cameras, no bullshit. Just two guys, right? So I met Christian through the mastermind. So weirdly enough, he followed me for like a few years, I think, on social media. I think we followed each other, but we didn't know each other. And we're from the same area. And then he used to work at Braemont, the watch manufacturer. And I went for a tour there. I took my team from one of my companies. I took them for like a tour there because I thought it'd be cool to see what other businesses do behind the scenes. And he was working there in the CNC shop. And long story short, he ended up reaching out to me, come into one of the masterminds, and fast forward a few months, and he's now started his own business called Odin's Metal. And I'll put a link below. And he's got plans to set up his own machine shop and all this kind of stuff. Really cool. Watching Christian go from like not knowing what to do to figuring it out and then doing stuff has been quite cool. And he's such a great guy. Christian, if you're watching this, I appreciate you, mate. We've formed a good friendship. I thought the hookup was or the early hookup was where we're at. I thought it was great, man. It was super cool. When I first bought my Harley, I had all these ideas of like being part of like a group of riders and all the rest of it. And then when I looked into like the Harley owners group and stuff, it was a lot of like no offense, there's a lot of old guys. And like, I've got nothing against old guys. I'm an old guy. But it was just what didn't have the spirit that I wanted, right? And one of the things I noticed from yesterday was like, it was a real mix of people, quite young, vibrant crowd, like, and I liked that. It really reminded me of like tattoo culture. In tattoo culture, the people that are really immersed in it, you know, they tend to like. There's a lifestyle thing going on there. So, and obviously I've got hardtail, like, but you know, Christian and I, we're not involved in the sort of chopper scene. But we hatched a plan yesterday that we're going to go halves on a bike, and we're going to do a chopper, right? We're going to do a little project bike, and we'll probably like make a little YouTube series of us essentially fucking it up. Among some of the mastermind guys, because there's quite a few guys who ride bikes, we're planning a ride. We're going to go over to the Isle of Wight, like, you know, ride around the island, stay. There's like a cool little lobster shack there apparently, have dinner there, stay the night in a cool Airbnb, and then ride the other route back. So it'll be like an all-nighter sort of ride out. So, and I think there's about 6 or 7 of us in the group that ride motorcycles. Well, I was going to ride out to my unit today and film the little outro bit here because I had a couple of bits to go there. And then weirdly, I ended up coming to the cemetery near me. It's a really nice cemetery here. And I don't spend a lot of time in cemeteries. Don't think I'm weird. But like when I got home last night, I got a message from my cousin letting me know that my grandmother had passed away. And I haven't seen my grandmother for a long time. I haven't seen a lot of my family for a long time. Like, my family is not really, it made me start thinking about, you know, family and death and all this kind of heavy stuff, right? It's like a weird subject for me because I'm not really connected to my family. Like, my parents told me they didn't really want anything to do with me a few years ago, and I haven't spoken to them since. And the rest of my family is very disjointed. I come from a very sort of, all families are dysfunctional, but I come from a very like disjointed family. Like, we're not close. We never really were. And then, and like in recent years, it's just become less so. Like, I've got a brother who I haven't seen in years. I've got a sister who I haven't spoken to or seen in over 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So my extended family, you know, like grandparents and stuff, they don't live nearby. They live way out on the coast. And as far as I'm aware, my grandma had like dementia in the later years, but I don't think I've seen her for like maybe 15 years, something like that, maybe 20 years. So it's been a long time. So And it was weird, man. I wasn't sure how to feel about it, because I'm not close to. I wasn't close with her, right? But I do have like some memories of her. She was quite a sweet woman. Her name was Bay. But it makes me think about like my family and how we're all so, you know, there's no real, like, very little connection there. Real strange. And I have friends now who are like family to me. I've got friends who are like brothers. I've got and I've got extended family, like through other relationships, etc., etc. And this is like the conversation I had with Christian yesterday. We were having this kind of conversation about. He made a comment like, you don't want to be that guy who's hanging out with other people's families at Christmas. And I was like, that is me. It is me in a nutshell. And it's because like my family weren't close. And we were actually having a conversation about kids and having kids and all this sort of stuff, and something I've been on the fence about for years. And I don't know how I feel about kids. If I'm honest, I don't feel like I really want kids. But like when I think about, my situation and that I don't actually really have any family, it makes me wonder, like, should I have kids so I have a family? It's funny, right? And the interesting thing about this stuff is that like no amount of success can like replace that. Doesn't matter how successful you are. Doesn't matter how much money you make, how much power, respect you have, how many businesses you own. You can't really replace a family connection. But then I guess I can't really miss it because I don't feel like I ever really had it. These are just my sort of like musings, right? I certainly am not talking about this for like sympathy. Like, I'm fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it's just kind of where my head's at the moment. It's an interesting subject, and I think like, and sometimes I wonder why do I not really care about it? Like, what's that about? Like, do you know what I mean? This is probably too deep. I'll probably edit this out. I thought I'd come to the cemetery and I'd sit and spend a minute and think about my nan and the sort of like the few memories I do have. Anyway, I'm going to put the camera away now because there's something slightly absurd about filming yourself in a cemetery. There's been a couple of outfit changes in this video, which is rare for me, right? But anyway, back home now. Go crack on with some work. Sunday night. Got to upload this video in about an hour. Yeah, anyway, hope that wasn't too depressing. That wasn't meant to be depressing. It goes to show the value of like not obsessing about one area of your life, like not obsessing about business, not obsessing about your marriage or your relationship, not obsessing, because some people are so obsessed in one area. There is an element of balance which needs to be paid attention to, right? I'll give you a brief update this end with all the business stuff as well. So Skyline is we're doing quite well, actually. We got a number of POs in last week. Everything seems to be ticking along. There's still a lot of pushing which needs to happen, and ultimately everything is kind of down to the team at the moment. So, but we're doing all right, put it that way. Life Coach AI. So if you follow me on socials, you would have seen that, there's a real hard push for that now. I'm going to start documenting that much more closely in the coming weeks because I think it's going to be interesting. The property business as well. Like, I'm out looking for investors for that. I've actually got an investor meeting first thing in the morning tomorrow, and another one set up. Harry is just putting together like a little investors pack. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. If there's anything you want to see, I always say this stuff, but if there's anything else you want to see, let me know in the comments below. That's all the stuff that's going on with me. This week is all about, there's a lot of work. But anyway, yeah, so that's it for this week. I'm going to leave you guys here. If you like the video, like the video. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. I drop at least one video a week. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good week, guys. Take it easy.